All right, of course, we're never too far away from the forecast today as we are staying weather aware. Brad, we know we've got some severe storms headed our way. You're talking about wind, maybe tying down that patio furniture, just bringing it in.
Yeah, certainly going to be windy regardless of the storms tomorrow, because even behind the front, we're going to see some strong winds with this low pressure system. But it's a day we want you to stay weather aware, particularly in the morning hours. Look at the time frame here, 3 a.m. to about 9 a.m. And it's going to get, depending where you are, it could be a little bit earlier, a bit later, but it's those pre-morning, pre-sunrise hours. The threats, wind primarily is our big concern, but also an isolated tornado threat. And then get ready. It's going to be cold and really windy behind the system tomorrow night. Now, we've already seen a new tornado watch issued just on the other side of the mountains. It does include everything up to the North Carolina border. That's an area we're going to watch for later tonight. But honestly, these storms are going this direction. So while they're very close to us, they're not heading towards the mountains. Where we're going to be watching is down here. Because the individual cells are moving northeast, we're going to watch parts of Alabama and Georgia tonight to see how these storms develop and then head our way into the upstate tomorrow morning. The tornado parameter, which is basically a composite index, shows you the ingredients for tornadoes. Now, it's on a scale from 0 to 1, so some of these are less than 1, but they are a little bit higher right around that 6 a.m. time frame. You see a couple getting close to 1. 1 is kind of that magic threshold. We get to 1, we start watching it carefully, and there was definitely an uptick down in this area around 6 a.m. And I want you to remember that, because look at the future radar. We'll go through the overnight hours, and you see this big cluster 2 a.m., and then we get closer to about 4 or 5 in the morning. Notice the storms down in here, right there, coinciding with that same area of increased tornado parameter. So this area, this cluster of storms right here in particular is the one that has my attention. So I'll be watching this carefully tonight and into the morning hours. If that storm develops right there, that would be the area where I would be most concerned for an isolated tornado. And because of the timing of this, it's really important you download our WCNC app. There's 2 reasons why. Scan that QR code. 1, you can push the alerts on to give you a heads up, but also you can see live streams on your phone. You don't have to turn the TV on and head to the other room. Grab your phone, go to your shelter location, and watch their stream. We'll let you know when the coast is clear and you get out of there. So before you go to bed tonight, kind of plan ahead that you might be getting up to some warnings in that 4 or 5 o'clock time frame, probably right before your alarm normally goes off. There's the front, though. Once it pushes through, we will see colder air spill into the region. There's the snow in the mountains, and yes, much colder air going into the weekend. We're going to go back to a little bit of winter. Now, the one ingredient we don't have in place and why there's still some uncertainty is the storm fuel. We got tons of wind energy and shear, the strong cold front. It's that factor, the storm fuel, which, because this is happening in the morning, that's bad timing for warning, but it's also the coolest part of the day, so that helps us out. But if we see any surge of moisture or warmth right before sunrise, that would be a problem. So if you're planning tonight, this is kind of the time frame for your location that we're worried about storms between 1 and 3 for the mountains and foothills, 3 to 7 for the Piedmont, and then 7 to 10 a.m. for the Sandhills and points east. Remember, have at least 3 ways to get warnings. We already talked about phone apps and having that phone, your TV or stream, social media. No weather radios are great as well. And word of mouth, believe it or not, just calling and texting friends. If you get a warning and you know somebody's in the path of it, calling and texting them could be the best thing you could do, because they're obviously going to listen to you and you can wake them up. But after we get past tomorrow morning, things are better. It's a windy day, as we mentioned, but temperatures in the 70s. It will be much calmer. We'll be clear from severe, but it will be a windy afternoon. Your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast shows just how chilly it's going to be. Temperatures only in the 50s and 60s, morning lows in the 30s, and yes, we're talking frost Saturday and Sunday morning possibly.
Oh my, what a turnaround, Brad. Thank you. And we did hear, right, Brad, talk about the different ways to stay weather aware. He mentioned the WCNC Charlotte mobile app. We've made it very easy to get the very latest sent straight to your phone, including those all-important push alerts. So when something big and breaking happens, you are the first to know. This is a free download in your app stores.